Hello everybody, welcome back to another Trailmakers video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this very simple mech as of the new update that changed the physics. If any of you have watched my last short mech video, you'll probably know that it doesn't walk well and it kind of just gets stuck and shimmies around, and that's because a change to the physics engine that kind of just made smaller mechs like this a little bit more buggy. So this is an improved tutorial, and let's get on with it. Alright, so first things first, you're going to want to get a seat like this, and then we're also going to get a gyroscope. One of these right here, and we're just going to put this here, and we're going to set the strength to 3. Now we're going to get the rotating servo like this, and just flip it down, and I would start with this side if your arrow is here, start on the right side, and then I'm also going to copy this down like this, and we're going to get a grid block, doesn't have to be, but you know, just for looks. And then we're also going to get the flat connector 1x2, and we're going to place them like this, and we're also going to copy them down so it's like this snaking pattern. And then last but not least, we also need them over here, so we're going to move them over here, and just going to show that real quick. Okay, so next we're going to take a block or a frame, it doesn't really matter, and we're going to find our basic straight suspension, and we're going to place that down, and we're going to put 2 friction pads underneath, and that is 1 leg done. Now we're going to select both of these servos and just remove the controls, and we'll bind them later. But now we're going to go to the other side, and we're going to repeat the exact same process. So also going to rotate it so it's like that, and then copy it down again. And yeah, it's the same process. You can copy these over and just make sure that these are correctly linked, otherwise your legs won't work right. So make sure, you know, these are connected correctly. I'll, you know, do a panorama again, but yeah. So let's move these down. Another block. And let's copy this foot over, and yeah, let's rotate it just for aesthetics, but the legs are now done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to select all of these, and we're going to make sure that there are no controls on them at all. Let's make sure it's X, and we're going to set the angle of every single one to 120 degrees, and the strength, we're going to set that to 20. Now what we're going to do is if you're facing the front of the mech like this, what we're going to do is we're going to select this one and this one, and we're going to set the speed to -1.75. And now we're going to repeat this with this one, except we're going to make this positive 1.75. Now like that. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to grab some gyro stabilizers, and we're going to put them on the back here, and we're just going to make them strength 5. They don't need to be that strong, but just something kind of like that. And now we are ready to basically add the logic of this system. So the logic is going to be the hardest part, and I'll briefly explain how it works, but if you want a more in-depth video, I do have a longer mech tutorial with more advanced legs, but we're going to get 3 XOR gates, put them in a row like this, and we're going to copy them over. Now we're going to select all of them, and we're going to set our button that we want to go forward. For me, it's W. If you're on controller, you can use the joystick. This works on every version of Trailmakers. Now what we're going to do is we're going to select these 3 like this, and we're going to set them to 0.25 and 0.25, and now we're going to select this one specifically and set it to 0.5. Now we're going to select these 3, and we're going to set them to 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. Alright you guys, next we're going to input the values into this, so we're going to select these first 2, and we're going to set them to 0.6, set these next 2, and 0.5, and then these 2 is going to be -0.4. And now pay attention, because this is very important. Select 1, and then on the corresponding side, select the hip joint right here, and then do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to select this one, and then this joint. And now we go to the second one, the second row here. These control your knees, so this one right here, the second one, and then same thing on the other side. And then lastly, these 2 go back into the hip joint. So this is going to go to this one, and this is going to go to this one. And now your mech should be completely done. As you can see, it's, you know, running pretty decently, but it is getting stuck. And if this is happening to you, all you need to do is turn up the strength of your gyro. and now it kind of walks better. You can see that right there. Now, depending on if you're planning to adapt this to a custom mech or something, you might want to, make this look nice. What you can do is you can play around with these values. Like I said, these control how far the legs move forward and back, and these control the angle of the knees. You can adjust these values to play around and get different running speeds. And yeah, hopefully you guys found this tutorial helpful. If you have any questions, make sure to leave a comment down below and I will try to answer it. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.